Hi gang, Rob here. It is the afternoon of 24 August 2020, a sultry 91-degree afternoon in Northeast Indiana. Bright sunshine, a little breeze blowing, about 85% humidity. Yep, it is the dog days of summer. Coming to you this afternoon with, I think I'm going to add this to my playlist of socially distant vlogs, I guess, because in the summer of the China virus, we've all had occasion and time to do more thinking than usual. I know I have. And especially as the election approaches, we have this convergence of a general summer crankiness combined with COVID fatigue, combined with extremes from the political spectrum screaming at the top of their lungs. And I've begun to wonder, and I want you guys to really I want you to think about this topic and weigh in the comments and tell me what you think. I'm not sure this is feasible, but I think maybe it might be our best solution. Because we have factions and powers and principalities that are part of the fabric of America in 2020 who hold ideas and principles that are so divergent from the founding principles of this great nation. And there are still a core of American citizens, mostly in my part of the country, who hold those founding principles dear, and they seemingly cannot be reconciled, these two belief sets. Progressivism has taken root, at least if you believe the media and social media, among a great segment of our country. And it, make no mistake, is in absolute diametric opposition to the principles upon which this nation was founded and the principles which have made this nation great. If these folks haven't learned the lessons of history and they're bent on running yet another experiment with socialism and communism, thinking they can be the first to do it right, maybe we should just let them. Maybe it's time for this nation of 350 million people to just come to grips with the seeming fact that we are no longer one nation under God. We are no longer 50 states united. We are 350 million people who are by birth or immigration Americans, and we don't agree on much. Maybe it's time to just accept the fact that we have irreconcilable differences, and maybe it's time for us, people of goodwill, to just accept that we can't live together as one nation anymore and start the process of a negotiated, mediated divorce. Yeah, a divorce. There's got to be a way to do it. There are plenty of resources to go around, plenty of debt to split up. The geographic lines are already fairly drawn for us. I would imagine this would need to be done within the framework of states, since they already exist as semi-sovereign entities. Here's kind of what I'm thinking. We split up the assets, we split up the debt relatively evenly. Heck, us freedom-loving United States of Americans might even be willing to accept more than half the debt, realizing that we generate more than half of the income. We split up the ports, we split up the military. We throw out the federal government as we know it, and we start about the process of creating 2 new federal governments. We established 2 nations by treaty with some guarantees for freedom of movement in a transition period. So, for instance, the conservative outback residents of the state of California have a place to go, so they don't have to be trapped in a system of governance in which they have no voice. Maybe the liberals, socialists, communists, and progressives from my state, Indiana, would be given free passage to the liberal states of America, the USSA. And we would even be willing, wouldn't we? Loving our fellow Americans as we do, praying sometimes daily for them to develop a new understanding of what made this country great so we can all get along and remain 50 United States. In that spirit, wouldn't we even put a provision in the treaty that after a period of, say, 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, with an end date, with a deadline, those other states of America who divorced us would be able to come back when it becomes obvious that their system of government can't exist without freedom-loving, productive patriots to pay their bills. Maybe that would be the great teacher for them, and they would realize the folly of their ways. So, let's say it's 20 years. We would say whichever side wasn't making it would be able to freely assimilate into the society that is making it. The successful society, accepting the prodigals, would assume their debt, so world markets wouldn't be, too scared and upset. And they would then have to live by the rules of a freshly laundered constitution, one without 200 years of bad precedent becoming part of it. They'd have to accept that the founders were right, that Lincoln was right, that Reagan was right, and this is a divinely inspired system of government by which free people can work together, be successful by the fruit of their own labor, the sweat of their own brow, always being mindful to take care of those who can't take care of themselves, and that socialism has never been anything more than a lie told to the masses in order to make them agreeable to make the transition to communism, which, by the way, is totalitarian rule. So I want you guys to tell me what you think. Is it workable? Can we do it? Is it even a good idea? I can envision most of the Midwest, the Deep South, the Republic of Texas becoming a new United States with free immigration opportunities for conservative folks in states that won't be coming with. Got to be a way to do it. Or is the ruling class too entrenched, too powerful, and too indignant to allow such a thing to happen? Has our freedom and our democratic republic been an illusion for all these years? Do the people really have no power, or at least not enough power to pull this off? I think we could do it. It might be time. We don't believe the same things, we and them. So maybe it's time for them to strike out on their own and test the validity of their utopian ideals. We already know how to do this. We've been doing it for 244 years-ish. we're pretty sure it works. Let them try without us. Of course, we'll be gracious. We'll be forgiving when they fail. Maybe they need to try. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comments. I'd like to hear your thoughts. That's all for this one. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. May God continue to bless our quite prodigal nation. May his wisdom come to us in whatever way we will receive it. Have a good evening, guys.